Hey, I'm Bruce Naylor, the Boomer Consumer. This is going to be a quick, unscripted video. Something that I feel it's important to share with y'all. You know, actually truly a baby boomer. Some things are going on with the channel I wanted to talk to you about. I don't normally share my personal life with people, but maybe sometimes it's good talking about things. So my wife, Cindy, we've been married 31 years. And her health has been declining for a number of years due to respiratory issues. I'm not going to go into the exact nature of what the problem is, but that has led to also what's called AFib, which is like a racing of the heart kind of thing. So on November the 21st of this year, she has been in and out of hospital since March with AFib, and she's also had a couple respiratory issues, but she's bounced back from those. On November the 21st, which incidentally was our 31st wedding anniversary, 3:30 in the morning, I woke up and she wasn't there. And I went looking for her and found her pretty much. She was conscious, but she was slouched over the kitchen table. I called 911. Within, I don't know, 10 or 15 minutes, the ambulance showed up, EMTs. They got her loaded on a stretcher and got her out to the emergency room in a local hospital. They took her right back, and I sat and waited. And I think somewhere around about 5 o'clock in the morning, the ER physician came out and said, "Hey, look, we're going to have to transport your wife to a larger hospital." We put her on a ventilator, life support, and she almost didn't make it. And then they invited me to go back with her, and I got to tell you, it's a hell of a sight to see your loved one laying there with tubes and a machine breathing for her. And I remember brushing her, combing her hair, not combing, but it's kind of hard to talk about, but I remember telling her, "Girl, you got to fight. Like no other time in your life, you got to fight." And she did. And they transported her to a hospital, larger city. And she was eventually, within a couple of days, they took her off the respirator, and she was finally able to start breathing on again. What it was respiratory failure. And she spent, I don't know, 8 days longer in intensive care. And finally, she was doing well enough for discharge. I brought her home, and that evening, 4 hours later, she went into AFib, which her heart rate went up to around 180, 190. And she had to spend a few more days in intensive care at the local hospital. All of this has led to her being pretty disabled right now. And I find myself being put in a position of not only the husband, but also as a caregiver. And she has to be on a special diet. We can't do takeout. She has to have low sodium foods, and we have to be very careful what she eats. And so I'm preparing all the meals, and I'm pretty much, it made me think, folks. It made me think. You don't realize how much a person does for themselves until you start doing it for them. And still simple things like using the restroom, taking a shower, brushing your teeth, putting on clothes, things we take for granted, never give it a second thought about. Suddenly becomes a big deal for somebody who's disabled. And of course, I had to rapidly make modifications to the shower, all kinds of the bathroom, so that she can at least have some independence. Okay, the good news is she's recovering somewhat. She's getting a little stronger each and every day, but it is a long process. Now, this whole thing has affected my ability to create videos and do reviews because I still have to work. I have a small business. Many of you may know, some of you may not know. I sell software for a living. That's how I make my living. And I'm 64. I'll be 65 next April. And I would love to retire. May not be able to, and that's okay. I work from my home, and that's nice. And I'm very blessed that I can work from home, so I can provide care for my wife, plus at least make a living while this is going on. But this whole YouTube thing, and I've been doing this for many, many years, is a hobby. All right. Yes, I make a little bit of money at it, but we're talking a few $100 a month. Okay. My channel is not huge. I may not be everybody's cup of tea, but I try to produce a video about once a week. Normally I drop them on Sundays, Sunday mornings, Sunday afternoons. But given all that's going on, big disruption. And I want to thank some of the companies that have sent me products to review for their understanding and their patience that right now I just don't have time. Believe me, by the time I help prepare all the meals and do everything I got to do, by the evening, I am just whooped. I have nothing left to give. The last thing I want to do is come in here and start reviewing gear and writing scripts and working on videos. I think with all goes well, I've got my wife home nursing services, so they're coming in and they're tracking all her vitals, and she has physical therapy, occupational therapy. I think we've had like 7 different people show up just last week alone to work with her. She's going to get through it. She'll probably never be back to where she was, but she should be independent enough that will allow me to have a little bit of time to work on these videos. And I'm going to have to kind of rethink how I do things. But I just wanted to share that with you. And thank you so much for your patience with me. If you look forward to the videos that I create and the reviews that I do. As far as the channel update goes, I'm not sure exactly when I'll return to a normal schedule. I really have a whole number of products to get reviewed. And I like to get them on loan and return them. So thank you for these companies saying, hey, look, we understand. Take your time. Don't worry about it. Special shout out to APOS. They've been just as good as gold to me as far as this sort of thing goes. When I do come back, I'm going to slightly change formats a little bit. Basically, I'll still be covering DeskFi, which I happen to like the DACs, the headphone amplifiers, the stacks on that kind of thing, powered speakers, headphones, etc. But I also want to review some bookshelf speakers, possibly some record players, turntables, if you will. But I'm also going to look at some unusual audio gear, fun stuff, something that's unique. Could be old Sony Walkmans. It could be something from vintage days. Stuff like that, a lot of music-related stuff, and that's my passion. That's what I enjoy doing, and I get it. If you're not interested in that sort of thing, don't watch the channel. I get it. Okay, but I do. I totally understand. But that's what this channel is about. More towards DeskFi, bookshelf speakers, near-field listening. But it's music. To me, it's all about the music. All this is pointless if you don't enjoy listening to music, right? What's the point of having a nice system if you don't like that? But we're a music-related channel, the gear and the music. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on. And I may not be on screen as much for a while anyway. But that's pretty much it. That's everything I wanted to cover. My wife's getting better a little bit, just tiny increments every day. A little better, a little stronger. And so I appreciate your support, and that's pretty much it. Thanks so much for watching. Not sure when I'll release the next video, but I'm still around. Bruce Naylor, the Boomer Consumer. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you sometime in the near future. Take care.